This is Western Mass News.
A day after all of Western Mass saw heavy rain, high winds, and flooding in different areas, we're checking up on some of the towns most impacted. Good Tuesday evening. Welcome to Western Mass News at 6. I'm Chris Pisano.
And I'm Abby Carnevale. In Williamsburg, there were different bridges closed off and the water caused damage to some houses. And Western Mass News reporter Daniel Santiago joins us live with an update. Daniel, what can you tell us?
Well, Chris, Abby, today I spoke with Williamsburg Fire Chief Jason Connell, who told us that most of the damage happened to flooded basements and private property.
Pretty much today, things are a little bit back to normal, besides those, a couple things here and there, but everything's good today.
That's Williamsburg Fire Chief Jason Connell sharing an update with Western Mass News about the damage caused the day before by the heavy rains, flooding, downed trees, and high-speed winds that impacted Williamsburg and all of Western Mass. On Monday, we saw multiple areas flooded, river waters moving quickly, some roads closed, and teams in action offering help. But on Tuesday, a very different scene with floodwaters receding and crews already in cleanup mode. Fire Chief Connell told us that today his crews were mainly assessing the areas impacted, and he's hopeful the damage is not extensive.
We just keep monitoring everything. We're still dealing today with some localized basement flooding, but we're able to help out the residents and stuff with that, with some pumps and stuff.
Chief Connell also told us that today the Williamsburg Highway Department was joined by the Massachusetts Department of Transportation as they were assessing the damage and checking the status of every single bridge in town that was closed off due to the rain before opening them back up for drivers. Reporting live in Williamsburg, Daniel Santiago, Western Mass News.